It's Mary on the run. It's Mary, Mary on the run. It's Mary, Mary on the run. It's Mary, Mary on the run. Mary on the run.
So welcome to Mary on the Run. And you probably know the story behind the Mary on the Run. So welcome today. Tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're at school.
Yeah, so I'm Alexa Alverio. I was part of the founding class of Trinity, the best school ever, from Monmouth Beach, and I am a senior at Bucknell University in Pennsylvania, and I'm studying chemical engineering, and I'm graduating this May.
That is like truly amazing. First of all, chemical engineering, that just sounds so difficult. And to have started as a chemical engineer major and now to finish, that's pretty impressive, Alexa. So tell us a little bit about what are some of the challenges been in chemical engineering for you?
Coming out of Trinity, I loved like all the engineering classes that we took for our 4 years and all the science classes like my chemistry, AP chemistry. So I decided to go into chemical engineering. I mean, at first it was definitely a big adjustment. Like Trinity definitely prepared me for it. But just like the workload has been crazy. But I definitely have learned a lot, which has been great. And it's starting to die down a little bit now that I'm a senior, but I mean, freshman year, it really hit me with how much work we had, but I pushed through, so.
Now, tell me what you're going to do as a chemical engineer.
Yeah, so I actually don't want to go into like typical chemical engineering roles. I'm more interested in environmental engineering. So I don't have a job for next year yet. So I'm still kind of just like applying and like looking at different companies, but I hope to be working for like an environmental firm doing like environmental consulting. I've been looking into like water and wastewater engineering, and just some other environmental roles. So we'll see where that takes me.
That's also really exciting. Now, is that an interest that you developed when you were at college?
Yeah, I've always been like interested in it, but I decided to go through with chemical engineering, and like my junior year, I'd say, here at Bucknell, I took this one class that made me really realize that I want to do a more environmental focused role when I graduate. So from there, I kind of started taking more like environmental classes and looking into environmental companies to see what was out there.
Well, it seems to me, chemical engineers really have a wide open field, and there's a lot of connection. And that background, of course, has to support environmental, I would think, engineering as well.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like you can really do like anything with this degree, just from what I've learned in all my classes. Like we touch upon everything. So I think there's so many different possibilities out there of what I could go into. So I don't think it would be that much of a struggle to go into environmental engineering. I've seen some other like chemical engineers do it. But yeah, you can definitely apply this degree in so many different fields.
How did you feel about going from Monmouth Beach, Tinton Falls, that area, and going out to Pennsylvania? What kind of a transition was that for you? Especially if this is a more rural area of Pennsylvania.
When I was applying to colleges, I applied to so many different schools.
Mm-hmm.
And just the one thing I was saying through all of it was that I just really wanted like a campus. Like I just really wanted like a very beautiful campus where I just like really felt like I was like at college. And you definitely have that here at Bucknell, which I was like excited about. And I love like I don't know, central Pennsylvania is definitely different, but like that's kind of like what I liked. Like all like the open fields and everything. Like it is very pretty out here. It was definitely a little bit of a adjustment because there's not too much around here compared to at home. But I do like it here.
Yeah, I think most students that I've known, graduates from Trinity Hall and other schools, have really liked Bucknell. It's a great place to go to school, and I'm glad that it's been a good experience for you. Tell me, did you have any, other than it was difficult and the work was hard in the beginning, were there any other areas where you really felt challenged being in the engineering program? Women, were there a lot of women out there? How do they make sure that you're supported in that engineering program?
Yeah, so the engineering program at Bucknell it's amazing. Like I feel that I don't know what like the other engineering majors, but in my major it's definitely like pretty close to 50-50 like women and men in my program,
Great.
which is like really great. And I'm very close with all the people in like my grade in my program, like the girls and the guys, which is really awesome because we like really help support each other in like our homework and studying and stuff like that.
Now that's something that, you know, when we've had advanced placement courses, and I'm sure you've heard us say this at Trinity Hall, one of the real ways that you can achieve success is by working together.
Teamwork.
Oh, brother.
We can do anything when we have teamwork.
So I'm glad that you mentioned that and to have that type of an environment. And you found that at Bucknell?
Yeah, definitely. We do like in my classes, we do so much group work, just like long-term projects and small groups in most of my classes. And also outside of class, we're always working together and helping each other with our homework and stuff like that.
So is there any type of a project that you want to share that you've done together with this team at Bucknell?
This semester we have like senior design, which is kind of like our capstone project in engineering. So I'm working on making a pimple patch it's like a group of 4 people, and we're kind of like our own client, like working on this project. That project is still I'm still in the process of doing that. So it's a little bit difficult, but it's a really interesting project and it's really great. And since I'm a senior now, I know all the people in my program and like we're all really good friends. So it's cool that I'm able to like work with some of my really close friends and like still get so much work done on this project. It's really awesome.
But now what's a pimple patch? Is that
Like
what
thing you put on your skin, you know?
okay, so you're designing a pimple patch, something you can really cure pimples with.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes, but we're in the works.
Now, I heard you say that you were involved in a sorority. So tell me a little bit about sorority life and how you got involved in that, and you know tell us just a little bit more about, you know, what the place of sororities were in your experience at Bucknell.
You join a sorority your sophomore year.
Okay.
So freshman year, you kind of like make your own like group of friends, and then sophomore year, you can join Greek life if you would like to meet some more people. So I ended up joining a sorority my sophomore year, and I'm still in that sorority. Last year, I was on the executive board of my sorority, so I was the chief recruiting officer, so I was in charge of recruitment, and that was the recruitment for this fall. So now I'm done with that job. Yeah, it was a little bit of a crazy job, but it was a really great experience, and I love like all the girls in my sorority. They're really awesome.
Now, what's the real purpose of sororities in college?
When you're in the sorority, you do different things like little sisterhood events, like getting dinner with your sisters, hanging out, study hours. You do community service events like in the community or on campus, different things like that. So there's really like you can make the most out of it, like whatever you want to get out of it, like you really will.
Okay. Did you travel at all, or with the engineering, were you on campus all 4 years?
No, I went abroad.
You did? Okay.
I went to New Zealand.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and like when I was going into college, I just had like kept saying to my mom, I was like, I'm going abroad, like no matter what, like I'm going to Australia or New Zealand. Like so when I saw that New Zealand had a lot of like similar classes that I would need, I like just jumped on that opportunity, and it was amazing.
Yeah, that is one place I'd really like to go, there and Australia. Now, when you went to New Zealand, did you travel to any other countries while you were there?
So we went to Australia, and we went to a few different places in Australia, just like flew from place to place, which was really cool as well.
Yeah, that's a great part of the world to visit. That's very interesting that you chose to go to New Zealand. Do you think that had anything to do with your new interest in environment as well?
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, New Zealand's just an awesome place. Like, I could just tell like the difference, like how the things that they did there, they're just like so aware. And like even on campus, they recycled, they had like what would go to the landfill, what you could compost, like they had compost bins everywhere. All the silverware was like wooden silverware, like you didn't get straws, like stuff like that. There were no plastic bags at any stores, like you had to bring your own bags or you didn't get a bag, like that kind of thing. And then coming back from that semester after that, when I got home, was actually when I took that environmental class that I really liked. So I think that definitely had a part in it.
So other things, questions that I haven't asked, like something else that you're just dying to tell me.
One thing that could be cool, like I'm taking a class this semester, which is called like technical and professional communications.
Mhm.
And in that class, they're kind of just like setting us up for like life after college kind of, and like helping us like with like applying to jobs, like going over resume tips and like stuff like that, cover letters, presentation skills, things like that. So something like that could also be nice because it's all things we know, but it's like nice to just have like another class like to like give you that extra information.
Right, right. Yeah, that's a good, this year is going to be the first year that we're actually going to do a senior week. So, and I think that's actually one of the suggestions, like email etiquette and then how to communicate, more
Yeah,
professionally.
email etiquette for sure.
Well, it is wonderful to see you. You still are very much part of Trinity Hall and you're our first class, so that'll never change.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you. It was so great
Um,
speaking with you.
Same here.
Yeah, and thank
Yeah.
you for everything that you've done for Trinity Hall.
Well, God bless, be good, and finish strong.
It's Mary on the run. It's Mary.